The sky over Hiroshima on the morning of August 6, 1945, is perfectly clear. There is no warning. No sirens. No sign that history is about to change forever. People walk to work. Children prepare for school. Doctors begin their rounds. The city, already scarred by years of war, breathes like any other summer morning. At exactly 8:15 a.m., a single American bomber appears high above the city. Its name is Enola Gay. Inside the aircraft, a bomb unlike anything humanity has ever created is released. 43 seconds later, the world enters a new age. A blinding flash erupts over Hiroshima, brighter than the sun itself. In an instant, the temperature at the center of the explosion rises to several thousand degrees Celsius. Shadows of people are burned permanently into walls and streets. Human beings closest to the blast are vaporized before their brains can even register pain. This is the moment humanity learns how to destroy itself. To understand how the world reached this point, we must go back years earlier, to a war that had already consumed millions of lives. By 1945, World War II had become the deadliest conflict in human history. Nazi Germany was collapsing in Europe, but the war in the Pacific was far from over. Japan continued to fight fiercely, even as its cities were devastated by conventional bombing. Battles like Iwo Jima and Okinawa revealed a terrifying reality. Japan would not surrender easily. American military planners feared that a full invasion of Japan would cost hundreds of thousands of Allied lives, and potentially millions of Japanese lives. The war had become a nightmare with no clear end. Behind closed doors, another solution had been taking shape. In 1942, the United States secretly launched the Manhattan Project, a scientific effort so vast it employed over 100,000 people. Its goal was simple, terrifying, and unprecedented: to build a weapon using atomic energy. The scientists knew they were crossing a moral line that humanity could never uncross. Some believed the bomb would end the war quickly and save lives. Others feared it would unleash a force beyond human control. But the project continued. On July 16, 1945, in the New Mexico desert, the first atomic bomb was tested. The explosion was more powerful than anything ever witnessed. One scientist quoted an ancient Hindu text, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." Less than a month later, that power would be used on a living city. When the atomic bomb detonates over Hiroshima, nearly everything within a 2-kilometer radius is destroyed instantly. Buildings collapse. Fires erupt everywhere. A massive shockwave tears through the city. People miles away are thrown to the ground. Those who survive the initial blast are left blinded, burned, and bleeding. But the horror does not end there. A black rain begins to fall, radioactive, poisonous, and deadly. Survivors wander through the ruins searching for water, for family, for answers. Hospitals are destroyed. Doctors and nurses are dead or dying. The wounded receive little to no treatment. By the end of the day, Hiroshima is no longer a city. It is a landscape of ash and silence. More than 70,000 people die instantly. Tens of thousands more will die slowly in the weeks, months, and years to come from radiation sickness, cancer, and organ failure. Many survivors, known as hibakusha, will face discrimination for the rest of their lives, feared as carriers of invisible death. And yet, 3 days later, it happens again. On August 9, 1945, a second atomic bomb is dropped on the city of Nagasaki. Once again, civilians pay the price for decisions made far above them. The message is unmistakable. Japan can no longer continue the war. On August 15, Emperor Hirohito addresses the Japanese people in a radio broadcast, the first time they have ever heard his voice. He announces Japan's surrender. World War II is over. The atomic bomb has achieved its immediate purpose. But its long-term consequences are far more complex. The bomb does not just end a war. It reshapes global politics, morality, and fear. The world enters the nuclear age, an era where nations possess the power to annihilate entire cities in minutes. The Cold War follows. arms races begin. The threat of nuclear destruction becomes a permanent shadow over humanity. For the first time in history, human survival depends not on strength or courage, but on restraint. Even today, Hiroshima stands rebuilt, vibrant, and alive. Yet the memory of that morning never fades. Museums display melted glass, burned clothing, and the watches frozen at 8:15. These are not relics of ancient history. They are warnings. The atomic bomb forces humanity to confront an uncomfortable truth. Science does not come with morality. Power does not come with wisdom. And progress does not guarantee survival. Some argue the bomb saved lives by ending the war quickly. Others believe it was an unforgivable crime against civilians. History does not offer simple answers, only consequences. What is certain is this: on August 6, 1945, humanity crossed a line it can never uncross. The question is no longer whether we can destroy ourselves. The question is whether we ever will.